Welcome back, Augmented Ones. Just Storm or Peter here with Jordan. In this week's episode, life finds a way when we discuss Pokemon Go. Is it becoming pay to win? I know, groundbreaking stuff for our first episode back after a while. We're going to be discussing Magikarp Community Day. Was it a flop? We'll discuss it. The Pokecoin update that has further gone into test, opening up new areas. Our Augmental idea this week is landscape mode. And the caffeine calibration will give you the scoop with our idea for that. So, when a game becomes pay to win, the large player base tend to describe it to be that you can only get good stuff by paying the price. Most games will use a incentive model, a paid currency model, in order to progress in a game or unlock the best features with the premium price. Meanwhile, the players that are trying to play the game without spending any money, they get stuck behind a wall that will often take a month up to a week sometimes. Meanwhile, if someone were to pay the money, they would get it immediately.
But I feel like a lot of people already pay money.
They do, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of whales out there that will spend probably like $100 every week or something, or every event. Which it kind of sets a false precedent for the rest of the players out there, because it makes Niantic, or it makes a game developer actually want to make more content behind a paywall because they can get more money out of people.
Like if they just put whatchamacallit, an elite TM in the thing and just kept charging $12 for it, then people would keep buying it.
Yeah, that's one of the things too, where an elite TM does get put into that community day box every time. And that community day box with that elite TM, I think that's kind of like I think that's the way that Niantic actually keeps their balance. Because the elite TM doesn't immediately give the player the automatic win. Because they still have to have at least a decent PvP IV Pokemon. They have to have the Pokemon that needs that legacy move. And if they spend that charge TM or elite TM, granted, they don't have to waste the 100 charge TMs it takes to get it normally.
Mm-hmm.
But other players were able to either hold on or actually trade other players for that. Yeah, so that's one way that, yes, they're only available by spending money or hitting a high ranking in PvP.
Mm-hmm.
Which, when that season change happened, but they're not that prevalent. And what else? But really, when it comes down to it, if you have enough people, enough of a community, then that completely negates the reason for needing a charged TM, because you can just trade someone for a legacy Pokemon with that move.
Yeah, unless they're not stingy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, everyone has sentimental reasons for keeping Pokemon.
But I
They
mean, if you
also
got 30
have...
of them, like, come on, give me one.
But that's the thing, too. That's their currency. I remember when I used to play a certain game, the market introduced a token that could be paid with the in-game currency, which then allowed for players to sell that currency to players who wanted to pay money for their subscription.
Uh-huh.
So basically, it was World of Warcraft. They introduced the WoW token. They then introduced you could pay with it with gold, or you could pay with it for money for a discounted price. And by paying for it with a discounted price, you could then sell it in-game. So it created another economy that wasn't a direct economy to ruin the economy. So basically, it only slightly inflated the cost of some items, but it kept the in-game economy a lot better than gold buyers did. Because there were people that would actually go around and sell the in-game currency for real-world money that didn't benefit the company itself. They were basically Chinese gold farmers was the common thing that they were called. Really, it could have just been computer programs that did it the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say for sure, but that's just the way that some things happen. But it was a way that they could actually stimulate the economy while still allowing for the company to get that money and allow for players to play for free and maintain the population that was dwindling at the time, because certain people do have financial obligations that they don't want to sink into a game.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of... I feel like that might be kind of what they were going for with Pokecoins, because by players playing the game, they get their Pokemon in there, and then the other person gets coin out of it. Now, with the new Pokecoin update that is still in test, it currently got rolled out to a few new countries. So it was currently being tested in Australia. From Australia, it has now been expanded to Germany, New Zealand, and Taiwan.
Mm.
It introduces the extra option to earn Pokecoins for doing basic tasks. Basically, things to keep you involved in the game itself. The current iteration, though, is basically you get an extra 5 coins for completing these tasks, but you still have to actually go out and fight a gym, and your Pokemon has to be returned on that day to get that extra 50 coins. So it increases the daily amount to 55 coins, so an extra 5 cents, for doing these extra little tasks. We were really excited about the initial testing of a new feature for Pokecoin, because that could have meant that
That's just
players...
like regular in-store coins?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's the things that you use to upgrade storage or buy any costumes, stuff like that.
I finally changed my outfit from the starter one. Forever, but I was like, I don't need to change it, but I finally did.
Well, it costs coins, so you either get the fun of showing off for someone in GBL or your local group or in the gym, or you use that coin towards storage or anything else that'll help you in game. So just depends at what point you're in at the game. The things that they added with the latest update, it was already the activities that they were introducing for the extra 5 coins on top of the 55 coin, and on top of the 50 coins for a Pokemon being returned for that day, was make an excellent throw, evolve a Pokemon, make a great throw, use a berry to help catch a Pokemon, take a snapshot of your buddy, catch a Pokemon, power up a Pokemon, make a nice throw, transfer a Pokemon, win a raid. The things they added on recently with this new update and the new regions being added was defeat a Team Go Rocket Grunt, catch a Shadow Pokemon, purify a Shadow Pokemon. With the addition of the Team Rocket balloons, now anyone can do that from any location. Yeah, so with that being in test... Oh wait, did it change more? Okay, so they did change it up even more than that. So with the new update, it's limited to 50 coins per day total, but it grants you 30 coins for a defender bonus for when the Pokemon gets returned to you, which now it would be reduced to 6 Pokecoins per hour. So you'll still need the same time frame, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, still like 8 8 or so hours to it, which I'll tell you in a sec. Then the next one is you get 20 coins for completing the tasks that are the new ones being introduced. So all the tasks that would be on the side there, the ones we had just mentioned, and the new ones that we talked about, the defeating a grunt, catch a shadow Pokemon, and purify a shadow Pokemon, will get you the 20 coins that the Pokemon Defender bonus won't grant you per day. Is that right?
But you still only get 50.
You still only get 50, but it would mean that you would actually have to be more active in the game. But you may not need 6 coins per hour. Silliness, yeah. It's 5 hours as opposed to 8 hours. So it seems like it kept it somewhat the same. No. Because right now it's 50 coins for 8 hours. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. The previous update that they had done was a reduction, but it didn't change the 50 coins per it. But this change made it so that it was 30 coins is the max you get from a gym, and you have to get the 20 coins through the features, through the added on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That way people aren't just depending on another team or another player or their own player or their other account going in and knocking out that gym.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are people with multiple accounts that may be taking over a gym, holding a gym, and then they go through every day and knock themselves out repeatedly. Mm-hmm. So they knock themselves out each day, guaranteeing that they get all the coin. Meanwhile, they only play that account for 8 minutes or 5 minutes just to get that Pokemon added to that gym. Meanwhile, the other people that are there taking care of all the work throughout the town, submitting Wayfarer points, actually participating in raids or other gym battles throughout the town, or even doing PvP, we get knocked out of the gyms just as fast, but we don't get the entire coin.
Yeah.
So this allows us more active players that are actually enjoying the game to still get our coin, even though we may not be getting flipped out of a gym as fast. So everything has its benefits, but it's probably mainly to combat the multi-accounters who only play that other account for maybe a raid or two, or just abusing the system. So yeah, very interesting. I still would kind of like to see that maybe the next update will be every task you complete with a limit per day. So yeah, you can complete as many raids as you want, but only your first raid of the day would only net you that extra 5 coins, which is the way that it probably could and should be. But it might be, the previous iteration was you have to complete at least 5 of the tasks on there to get your extra 5 coins. So if they introduce a new system where it's every task on this list, you get an extra 5 coins, and that could be a little more rewarding for some people, especially if they don't have all the points that are directly around them.
Rewarding for the people who don't just buy the coins.
Yeah. But then again, it's all stuff that people would be able to do. Oh, yeah. So make an excellent throw, make a great throw, make a nice throw. If you land an excellent throw the first time, then you could pretty much complete all 3 of them right there in that one shot. You catch a Pokemon with that great throw, You can use any type of berry, nab it, that way it doesn't run away, and then just Pokeball it to start it, get your catch bonuses. Snapshot of your buddy is free. Power up a Pokemon, it'll cost you a little Stardust. Transfer a Pokemon, I'm sure everyone has something to transfer at this point.
Nothing. So
Oh, okay. And I thought I was the sentimental one. The Team Rocket Grunt comes to you. Catching the Shadow Pokemon's easy. Purifying it can be a little expensive.
Suicune.
Oh, yeah, those legendaries. That'll burn you out of any and all Stardust. Okay, so skipped around a little bit, but doesn't matter. So, Magikarp Community Day. How'd you make out?
Got like 9 shinies.
Okay, not bad. Were you playing the whole time or just sporadically here and there?
Sporadically. I
Yeah.
wasn't that prepared for it, so I'm like, I got what I could.
Yeah. Yeah, I was working. I thought I would have time to get off early. I almost did. And then I came back from the shore and I was like, yeah, they didn't need me at the shore, but you guys sure do. I thought I was going to be able to get out a little early, but I ended up still working my usual shift. And so after that, basically while I was still working my usual shift, I had my Go Plus going and just catching here and there.
So how much did you get?
I ended up with 21.
Nice. It was a lot of Stardust, thankfully.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, well, that was part of it. I was Go Plussing it during that whole time. I went home, let the dog out, and then I drove up to Pittman. That way I could just catch whatever I could.
For all that?
Huh?
How'd you have time for all that?
Well, I got out at 2 o'clock on the dot. Community Day was until 5, so I was like, okay, I have time. I'll let the dog out, and I'll play hardcore for like 2 hours. That'll be perfect. That's the amount of time that they probably mainly want people to be playing, about 3 hours, 2 hours, because that's how community days were beforehand. Now with them changing it from 11 to 5, that's partly a buffer for people that are relying solely on incense, in addition to being more flexible with people who aren't in as populated areas.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, I discovered a decent trick for the size park I was playing at. So I was at that park. You were there before with me. And what I did was I got to the park. I cleared out my research stack. Well, the 3 that you get for the day, or the 3 you can hold per day. And then I made an immediate lap around the park. From making that immediate lap around the park, I got the incense spawns, hatched an egg or so, and then I also caught the other Pokemon that were natural spawns in that area for Magikarp. Then, once I got to a certain spot with a 3 lure setup, I lured it up with the Glacier lures. I'm a little iffy on whether it actually helped me or not, but I did catch a handful of shinies from it. So I had 3 lures popping out Pokemon probably as fast as the incense were popping out. So it was probably about a minute or so. Every minute, a Pokemon was popping out of the lures, whereas a standard lure would pop out a Pokemon every 3 minutes.
But Magikarp is an easy Pokemon to catch to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah, so that makes it easier and a little faster with that. Yeah, so after that half an hour for the lures was done, I then made another lap around the park, made sure that I got any last research off of any Pokestops, because as you know, every community day, every Pokestop turns into a catch 3 Magikarp or catch 3 of each Pokemon on there.
Yep.
Which a really nice feature this time around was they introduced Magikarp candy as one of the rewards for it, because obviously it takes like 400 Magikarp candy.
20, 50.
Yeah.
And you had to evolve one, so.
Well, in a way, they gave you a lot of candy at that.
It was like that.
So I forget exactly how much. I just remember actually looking at it and it was like 50 candy for this reward. And I was like, oh, okay then. And that was for the 99 cents for the special research that you pay for that.
Yep.
The other thing, yeah, they had a research per Pokestop, and certain ones were actually 6 Magikarp candy. So you catch 3 Magikarp, and then the reward would be 6 Magikarp candy.
Wasn't there one for 50?
The special research. I don't think there was one from a Pokestop that was 50 Magikarp candy. Yeah. It was the special research that you had to pay for that one. But the free one from the Pokestops itself was 6 candy, which if you're in a high Pokestop area, that could have easily been that 50 candy that you would have gotten for free.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, you could have just been pineapping the whole time as well and getting that
Exactly.
extra 6 candy each time. And if you pineapped the Gyarados at the end of that, or any... I don't think anyone probably saw a spawn for Gyarados during that day.
That would have been crazy.
Yeah. But they have been out there before. But if you pineapple a Gyarados there, then with the pineapple, it turns into 10 candy. So easy candy there if people didn't have it already. And I completed my big Magikarp medal. 300 big Magikarps down the drain.
Yeah. I evolved the shiny for Master League.
Oh, nice.
So like evolved to like 27 something, but I didn't power it up yet.
Okay, that's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
But with the Magikarp medal for the Fisher medal, 300 for the gold medal, I ended it with 332.
Nice.
So I got the medal probably about 15 minutes into showing up at Pittman. So I caught something like 80 big Magikarp, because I was just talking about it last week or so that I was at 259. Math isn't my strong point, so anyway. So I can now buy the Fisher vest, which I'm not going to be doing that anytime soon because I need coin for other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for maybe getting some more unknowns, especially if I want to get them shiny, which it's a little iffy. I'm a little torn on whether I want to do it or not.
I'm chilling with my one.
Only one?
My one shiny unknown.
Oh, you got one already?
Yeah.
Oh, right, from Go Fest. That's right.
Yes, sir.
Which I'm not sure. I'm sure people realized it, but the letters for the Go Fest were Go.
I mean, my friend told me that. I was like, what is this? I was like, it's a G.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah. So unknowns are in raids for a short time, and then after the Enigma week, they'll go back into being completely random, probably saved only for special events.
But what's Enigma? After Enigma?
After Enigma is Unova.
Oh, and this is it? Yeah, this Sunday coming up next week, 11 to 2.
Oh, right. Well, yeah, this Sunday. I can't keep track of stuff sometimes. But real quick, let's just keep going with that other idea. We were finishing up Magikarp Community today. Enigma Week. Yeah, we're going through Enigma Week.
I don't have a Deoxys.
You got one?
Nope. I don't have a Deoxys. I don't have a Defense Deoxys. I don't got nothing.
Yeah. I would trade you one, but because they're mythical, can't really do that right now.
Why not?
Because you can't trade mythical Pokemon. You have to actually go out and capture them because it's
Why?
mythical. I don't know. When Deoxys first came out, you couldn't even transfer them, or you couldn't mass transfer them
Why is this a rule?
because the Pokemon Company has rules.
Okay, but you couldn't make you can't transfer a legendary, make it like that. A mythical is just whatever.
Well, it's probably also so that people weren't farming other accounts because that rule was mainly put in place for the Pokemon like Mew, Celebi, Jirachi, because those are mythical Pokemon that were completely exclusive to one account per time.
Because of the research.
Yeah.
But then you got Defense Deoxys that's great in a certain league, but it's highly inaccessible to a vast amount of people.
It is great, but it's not the best.
It's up there, but I can't get it.
Well, yeah, it's one of those things that you had to be there, but also it's been like
What
other
was it even
points.
from?
Yeah. But yeah, that's part of the exclusivity of Deoxys, because if they had it out there the entire time, then
But who's going to use regular Deoxys?
Defense Deoxys is good because it's very defensive,
Yes.
but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the top tier Pokemon.
But I want to have it so I can build a team around it.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll introduce something eventually again for it. Not sure what type of event would have to come up for it, though. Because I think the last time they had
I was like, what was the event? I'm a newbie.
Deoxys was in EX raids back in the day. March 25th.
Was it even a thing anymore?
Not right now, no.
I was like, I can get no invite for them anytime. Same.
Well, that's probably a
get
good
them all the
thing.
time.
Yeah. Well, I think they'll probably introduce them again if Niantic can actually set up a system that will automatically invite people to it. Because that was what I was thinking about for GoFest, where they could do raids and stuff like that, but they would need a specific program or system to invite players to it, or have a virtual raid that then players can join the lobby for that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can look it up.
Like it's like when there's a certain one that I want, I would do whatever it takes to get it. So I'm still searching for somebody who has a Pachirisu.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it was only my brother was the only one that I had talked to before.
Well, tell him to meet up with you and trade me one.
Yeah, he would probably have to come down for like a community day or something like that. That would probably be a big point for that. That, or next time community day happens, that's the prime time for this stuff to happen. You just ask people as you're just passing them by. Like, hey, you got a Pachirisu? Got a Pachirisu?
Hey, you been to Canada?
Well, actually, all you have to do is say Safari Zone, talk about your experiences there, and sometimes they'll just forfeit the information themselves.
Like, yeah, I've been to the Canada one. Like, okay, then give me a Pachirisu. Trade me now. Something.
I mean, certain people, they'll definitely do it, but you'll have to give them something of equal value for that special trade, because sometimes they save their special trade on Community Day for another shiny. So that could be an easy way too, though.
I'll give you a Tauros.
They might not want that bull, but like that Community Day Pokemon, sometimes people will trade shiny for shiny. That way they can re-roll the IVs. But yeah.
I'll get one.
Well, yeah, we all will. You just gotta wait for it now.
The search is on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I was saying in the Augmented sync last week that you have to get out, or at least accept the invite from a friend for a Deoxys raid, because if you don't get the shiny during this event, then you won't get it, because you can't trade mythicals right now.
Unfortunately.
So you either get the shiny or you don't. And Darkrai is also considered a mythical too. So some people that missed out on the shiny Darkrai.
Well, I got plenty of Darkrai. I don't have a shiny, but like.
Well, that's the thing. Some people have like other accounts, and they may have gotten a shiny on that account, but they can't even transfer it to their main account because it's a mythical.
Mm-hmm.
Other thing I wanted to talk about was the Augmental idea for landscape mode. They would have to change the perspective on the camera when you're walking, but it may create more of a engrossing feel. So like instead of you just walking across a plain, boring green or blue map, when you turn it into landscape mode, maybe the camera zooms in, you see the Pokemon next to you, and you also see like trees or something.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a cool feature for as you're walking, or a way that you can enable the augmented reality mode. So you'll turn it sideways, and then as you're walking, you use it as almost maybe a viewfinder or something like that. And you have to physically bob and weave. No, people will fall off roads because they're geniuses like that. Maybe that'll have to wait until they actually introduce the AR glasses, which they are in test, or they're in the works. They're rumored.
That would be crazy.
And they're really close, so hopefully something comes out soon, or if anyone's watching and wants us to test it out for you, let us know.
Niantic.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think Niantic would probably develop the software for it. Well, they'll develop the software, but not the hardware. Because I know that Samsung, they were hot and ready for some augmented reality stuff, and they were working on peripherals and different gear like that. And they provided a lot of money to Niantic back in the day to help push things forward, which is kind of why Samsung now has like extra bonuses going on. So actually, if you have a Samsung Galaxy account, if you find the code or participate in some of the promotional stuff going on from the other Pokemon Go or the other influencers that are being sponsored by Samsung, you can get special outfits in game. They kind of have that Starburst, like Galaxy type aesthetic to it. So it's just a bunch of bright colors.
Team iPhone.
Which reminds me, I have a really cool thing that I figured out. I found out from like TikTok or some other things. I can't remember the exact source, but basically, if you go into your accessibilities, enable a voice command for a special gesture, you can then map out how you actually want to do that gesture. So say you're doing a AR photo of a Pokemon, and you want to be in that photo, but you don't have any friends, or now, in case you want to have a group shot. So you want to make sure that all your friends are in that shot, or if you don't have any friends, you just go there and take the picture next to the Pokemon. You plot out the spot, make sure you're standing next to it, and then you say the voice command, and by saying the voice command, it starts doing the gesture that you want, which could then take the picture of the augmented reality photo. Because otherwise, any other like remotes or anything else for the camera mode don't link up with Pokemon Go. So if you want to take a remote augmented reality photo, you have to actually enable some other features or have a camera person for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have a video tutorial on that as well. Which, come to think of it as well, if anyone's listening out there, you can also listen. You can see the work that we did on a local collaboration. So the YouTube channel is Pokemon Go AR photography tutorials. No, it's Pokemon AR photographer. I'll put a link in the description. Yeah, it's the second video. It's a augmented reality photo editing tutorial that we did with them. I joined in, edited a Ludicolo in the attack animation tutorial video with JC Pop Punk Pokemon. So it was really fun. They taught us how everything works. They taught us how to do the editing in, what's the name? And they put me down as Geostorm. Nice.
Geostorm.
Okay. I guess I should have really given them all of my information better. It happens. Yeah, so we were on an AR tutorial. Just something simple there.
What region is Carnivine from?
Carnivine, I think, is same one as Gibble. I think it's Gen 4. What?
No, like it's a regional.
Yeah.
Which region in the world?
I think it's the southeast. So I think it's like down the coast towards like Georgia area.
Because I've been doing research, and what's your opinion on these people who, how do you say that? Basically, I'm just doing research. So there's these people who make alternative accounts, and then they go on, I'm just doing research now, they go on eBay, and then apparently there's, I don't even know. They give the account to like the buyer or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay, I see it now.
I looked up, I was like regionals, and then this came up, and I was like, wait, what? People do that? I was like, what is that?
It's basically a account seller. So a spoofer sometimes, or just other players, will play in that area, capture Pokemon, and then sell the account because it holds a rare Pokemon or has something extra in there. Yeah. Which,
like I said, it's 247 sold. I'm like, what the? Crazy.
Yeah, that's the dark side of Pokemon.
Sheesh.
Yeah. We don't condone it. It's against It's against the terms of service.
How is that even legal?
It's not. It just hasn't been shut down. Because if they're smart enough, they don't give out the information willy-nilly. And until someone buys it and does the trading, there's no way to tell for sure that that account was actually...
Yeah, because I'm like, can't they tell, like, oh, this account was in wherever, in Asia, but now this account's in America.
There isn't a direct or easy way to do that. They can see that, but they don't necessarily know whether that person does travel a lot but only plays on occasion, or if there's not an easy way to tell whether it's for nefarious purposes or not.
Yeah, it just popped up when I was looking up regional Pokemon, and I was like...
Yeah, there's always account sellers because there's people that want to devote their time and some resources to trade for real money in some way. Which is kind of circles back to the whole thing we were talking about before, how until Niantic introduces a form of that which would go completely against their mission and everything, there's not exactly a way to combat it directly. The way that they have been combating it, though, is any account under level 30 will have randomized IVs for
Mhm.
that Pokemon. And they don't offer anything free per se. So you basically, when you start playing the game, you're at square one with limited resources at that.
Like I feel like
Which,
that way is just a cop out. Like if I'm gonna get my Pachirisu, I'm gonna get my Pachirisu the hard way, whether I'm in Canada or I'm finding somebody and hunting them down.
yeah, and that's the way that it should be and the way that the game intends for it to go. Or
Exactly.
you wait for an event to happen and then you put in the money, but you still usually have to travel. But there's always going to be people that are abusing the system and everything. But
Hmm.
that's kind of why Niantic has introduced the other ways to make an account and the multiple forms of identification, and why they introduce such a steep penalty for trading Pokemon that aren't in your Pokédex,
Yep.
and such a steeper one for raid Pokemon and raid shiny Pokemon.
And anyway, I feel like I can understand it, but I just feel like one special trade, like that's nothing. Give me like at least like two,
For what?
just in general. Because like a special trade could just be
Oh, right.
a special trade could be like just what do you call it? What do you call it? Just a first evolution stage or what? I don't even know how to refer to it as.
It could be, it could be the first stage of the
Yeah,
evolution.
first stage of the evolution. Like, what if it's just like a common Pokemon or just a Pokemon that I don't have, and that's a special trade, and then that's on the same level as me trading the legendary. That's
Well, the
what.
Stardust cost is the part where it makes the difference for
Yeah,
that.
Stardust, but like,
But that's kind of why they waited so long for them to actually introduce trading, because it was such a difficult subject and a difficult thing to actually bring into the game, considering that people could just do all of these nefarious things like making other accounts, playing
mhm,
in a region, and then selling the account itself.
yeah,
Which, a lot of people play with the terms of service, because if they do discover that an account or a Pokemon has been used in a nefarious way, which you can't really figure out from just a wild spawn, but if they were gaming their location, going from one area to another to catch a Pokemon really fast that was a limited spawn, and they traveled halfway across the world and still ended up catching it despite all of the roadblocks like the speed cap and everything, then apparently, supposedly, there are ways that Niantic will just red strike that Pokemon that will no longer be able to be traded, used, powered up, used in raids, used in battles, and it could only be transferred from that point.
oh,
Although I haven't seen any more information on that lately, I just know that once Niantic figures out that an account has been used against the terms of service, they'll just immediately terminate them. I saw a video on someone that was playing GoFest, and they were spoofing. They hid the bottom section of their frame, so anyone watching the stream couldn't see the what's the name? They couldn't see Niantic couldn't see their name per se, but Niantic must have had some other identifier in the background that they were able to track down who was playing on that account and what that account was. And while they were on stream, they got terminated.
wow.
So it just said, you have violated the terms of service. Your account has been terminated. No, there's apparently a 3-strike system, but if you're caught spoofing per se, it's just an automatic 3rd strike and you're completely gone.
You're gone.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I first started playing, like way back then, that was when I was in college. And there were people that I knew that resorted to that. And that was
Yeah.
back when you could tell, that was back when they had the whole timer thing with the app where you can say, all right, these Pokemons are gonna spawn. There was like an app that would tell you like that's countdown, and they would
Hmm.
do that. I didn't do that. I don't know why they did that, but they were just playing. They were like, all right, now I'm in New York, and now I'm in California, and I'm catching these rare Pokemon. And I'm like,
It just ruins the whole experience.
it really did. Like they resorted to it, then they did that, and then they weren't even playing anymore. They got
Hmm.
everything that they needed.
Yeah. It defeats the entire purpose because that location stamp is part of the significance of it. That you actually went out and traveled to that location and enjoyed those sites, and you have that Pokemon as a souvenir that doesn't even take up more space than anything else. And you have the memento. Maybe some photos, but it's the same thing as a photo.
Exactly.
I remember Pokemon Go first came out, and I still have Pokemon from Washington, D.C. when me and the missus had taken a vacation out that way. I have a Flareon from Virginia, a Victory Bell from DC, and a Nidoking from DC. They were decent enough IBs that I just kept them around and added some Stardust to them just to make it usable from time to time. And what else we got?
I have a Doduo from July 16th, 2016.
Ooh, nice. The thing that they should introduce with landscape mode is PvP in landscape mode. Because I think if they can actually introduce PvP in landscape mode, they could actually introduce new mechanics with it.
Introduce a third move.
Or dodging. So maybe if you see an attack coming through, you might be able to swipe fast enough and get out of the way of it. Or you'll take less
Much more
damage.
difficult.
Huh?
That would just make things so much more difficult. I'd be like, please.
It would, but that would be more interesting. So, what if right before the attack goes through, you have to swipe in a certain direction, and you have to actually do the opposite direction from the way that the other person goes. So, if you're always flicking up or jumping at that time, and they start catching on that, oh, he's always jumping. If I jump as well, my attack will do the maximum amount of damage. But if you're always going right or left, it may introduce a new RNG to it, but a new mechanic so that it's a little more interesting. Maybe, I don't know. Because if they did that, then they could also introduce like field effects.
People were saying different things like, oh, let's introduce team battles.
That would be the way that you could actually do it too, because they won't fit in one screen, but if you introduce landscape mode, then you could actually have multiple Pokemon on the screen. And if you introduce like weather effects in there, maybe not now.
Choose which one you attack.
Yeah.
And they have to choose whether they want to shield that one.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, that, or you could actually do the actual sacrificial moves where you just switch over the other Pokemon so that that takes the attack instead of the one Pokemon taking the attack.
Like a lightning rod.
Mm-hmm.
I only remember that from Pokemon Stadium, Nintendo 64.
You probably can't hear that, so you're good. But yeah, that could also be a way that they introduce abilities as well. Because if you change up the game to introduce abilities or other factors behind it, you need a way for the other players to even the balance
Well, they
between
need to
everything.
leave off Bubble Beam.
What?
They need to fix Bubble Beam because I shouldn't be losing an attack every single time that they hit me.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that's a chance, not 100%, right?
It's 100.
It's 100%.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I guess it's kind of like icy wind.
It's
What was
like
it on?
wind
Was it
attacking.
on a Mantine with bullet seed?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. That's machine gun style.
Ugh.
But that's the thing. If too many people start using it, then the meta becomes weak to its weaknesses. So that's an easy way to counter it.
I mean, that was the video that the guy made that I was running, and then everybody else want to start using it because why?
Well, yeah, it's the new flavor of the week. There's always going to be the different flavors that people are going to be running with.
Nobody was using that before me.
Yeah, it only takes one to start the fire. Only takes the spark.
Yep.
But yeah, the things are always going to fluctuate, and the meta is always going to change around. So
Yeah.
I think that was mostly it for the episode.
I
Is
got it.
there? Yeah.
So I know you said you don't do much, but how's your experience in GBL?
GBL experience? I went on during Dragon Week to try and get more dinos, which didn't really turn out too well. I saw one extra one, and other than that, I was just busy with work and other stuff too. My GBL experience, I
Like,
was
not
just...
like PvP or?
No, I like it. It's just I always spend like over an hour doing it, and if I'm spending an hour or two editing, recording, and doing all the other stuff, and still working out too, it's a bit tight on my time.
Mm-hmm.
But GBL, I've been enjoying it for the most part. I've been working through the ranks, and my current team that I was running was... Let me see if I can bring it up. I was using... Oh, that's what I was doing. I was doing Galarian Stunfisk, Medicham, my best buddy, and Meganium.
I just started using Meganium.
It has some good counters with everything. I use it every so often. I'll find it'll just end up being perfect that they end up saving their Swampert for when I have my Meganium left, and then I just Frenzy Plan and they're done.
Well, I wish I had a Medicham. I do have one, but like I'm only level 36, so I can only power it up to so much.
Well, what's the IVs on it?
I don't know. I got multiple, but I'm just saying.
Well, I would say once you get like something that's 100%, if you can get 100%, or maybe I'll trade you a few, and if they turn lucky, that would probably be better off, because Medicham maxes out at 1439.
Yeah, something.
So mine's my best buddy, so it maxes out at 1449, which I ended up losing a Sylph Road match because I forgot to set it as my best buddy, because you have to have it as your buddy when you're going into the battle, otherwise it doesn't get the boost. And I lost that battle by like this much health left on their Pokemon, and I lost the best of 3 because of that much health, because of it. And I know that much health would have been buffed by my Medicham having that extra boost, because I do my own little thing where I do Power Up Punch and Psychic, and if I end up going up against a Pokemon that's a bit of a pain in the butt, like an Altaria or a Azumarill, I'll just hang in there, do a Power Up Punch or two to try and get one of their shields.
Mm-hmm.
And if I get a shield, it's a good thing. If I don't, then I charge up a little more, fake out with another Power-Up Punch, charge again, and then I do a Psychic when they're least expecting it. And then
Like,
I'll do
I would
a quick...
want to use it, but like...
Huh?
I said I would want to use one, but like I'm just... Mine are nothing.
Well, yeah, that's one of the Pokemon that you do want to have the best IVs possible for it. But other ones, you may actually want to for that, you may just want to find like a budget counter that you can get decent IVs for and then use it right away. So probably something like maybe a Lucario.
Oh, well, this one's decent.
Lucario might work out.
It has 14 attack, 13 defense, and 15 HP.
That's not bad.
Like, I have 112 candy. Like,
Oh, that's not that much.
so
You got
like,
time.
say, if I power that up.
But that's the thing too. Medicham was, when Power Up Punch first came out, Medicham was top tier. So a lot of people have been using it. So it's kind of washed out a little bit because it got nerfed a little bit when Power Up Punch went down. But it's a little hit or miss. So
Like, I could only power this one up to 1291.
really,
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, the full power up would be 1371, but I don't have that much candy. But I'm just saying.
oh, 1371, yeah.
And even a
Yeah.
Zoomer, like my Zoomer is only 1413. Like,
Well, yeah. Once you get up to like a certain point, that extra CP is only going to be like one extra point of attack. So
yeah,
it's not going to be that prevalent.
It still does good, but
Yeah. A lot of the time, it's not even if you need to win a match by a slim margin, then that's when the IVs matter. But if you win by counters and switching and shielding the right things, then the IVs don't matter. You could roll in with a 10 CP Pidgey or something, but as long as you switch in for when it does the big attack, you're fine. There were some people that were doing a challenge like that. They were like, okay, win in GPL with a 10 CP Pidgey.
a video?
There was a clip on Twitter or something, yeah.
So for Metacham, how much walking is it per candy?
I think it's 3 kilometers per candy.
Ugh. It can't be a one.
But technically, that's kind of better. That way you have more time to actually find a better IV one.
True. Because right now,
making all that friend bonus would be nice to be transferred over to like just one of that Pokemon.
mm-hmm.
So you'll have to restart with that once you actually find a better IV one. But it's still that you're going to save the candy. And instead of powering up a Pokemon all the way to max, you can wait for it. If you get a lucky 100% Medicham, that's like the best lucky Pokemon you can have because it maxes out under 1500 for that cap. So it'll give you the biggest return on your investment for it.
Because right now I got Meganium as my buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Meganium maxes out at like 23 something.
Yeah, so Meganium wouldn't benefit entirely from the Best Buddy buff unless you're using it for Ultra League.
As I was say, does Meganium have play in Ultra League? Like, I have it right now for Great League, but I'm like, is it worth powering it up?
It might have some play in Ultra League, but Ultra League changes up a bit.
Because I'm like, I can make Metacham my buddy and try to stock up on that, but I don't know.
It really varies depending on what's hanging out in the meta at that time. Because if it's Cresselia...
But it takes so long to get a best buddy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I want to do something that'll be worthwhile. Like a Metacham or Meganium maybe for Ultra League, I don't know.
Well, I would probably do... What Pokemon do you have 100% of?
Nothing useful. It's like no.
Or you have the diamond in the rough.
What?
Or you have the diamond in the rough and you don't know it.
I have a Bastiodon. but like
That's decent.
that's iffy.
Yeah, Bastiodon is like just hits under that threshold for needing 100%.
Hmm.
It's like you need a 93% one.
I got a Whelmer, but like
I don't know. Some people were talking about high health Pokemon being a real pain in the butt. Like they went in with a Whalmer, Wailord, a Blissey, and something else. And they just had it was one of those face roll matches where you just lasted way too long and they couldn't handle it.
I
Half of
got
them quit.
Raichu,
Okay.
a Don fan, but like these Pokemon are just like
Donphan is a decent one because it gets counter and play rough.
that maxes out at 29, 27.
29, 27. Counter and play rough. And what else does it have?
I know it has Charm.
It does?
Yep.
Are you serious?
Mine has Charm on it.
Ah, dude, that could be a savage for Master League. If it wasn't for Gyarados coming out,
Right? I'm like, ugh, they're gonna be
dude,
running that thing wild.
that is our new spice. Augmented ones, get to work. Let me see what I got. Because, oh man.
Yeah, it's 100%. Charm, Heavy Slam. That's what I got on it right now.
Oh, Heavy Slam 2?
It has potential.
Dude, I think that could be the one. I would say make it your buddy. Get that thing best buddy in
They
time
wouldn't
for
be ready
Master
for it.
League.
They wouldn't be ready.
Dude, no, they wouldn't. Donphan's stats are...
It's a hundo.
It's no. I mean, like, it's base stats.
Oh, I don't know.
It's like 214, 185, 207. And at 100%, the CP would max out at 3013. And the moves that it has, it's got a wide spread. So it has Charm, Counter, Mud Slap, and Tackle for its quick attacks. And the charge moves are Earthquake, Heavy Slam, and Play Rough. I feel like
what combination would you suggest?
I feel like if you go Charm, Play Rough, and Heavy Slam, because I'm just remembering the GBL meta for Master League with all the dragons, all of the fairies. You use Heavy Slam for the fairies. Charm still chunks them, still hits pretty hard. And Play Rough, that'll just melt the dragons. And in the event that you find nothing but... yeah,
I think
I'm not sure now. I think it does as well. And you might even be able to do Mud Slap instead of Charm.
Mud Slap is a lot of, or is that Mud Shot?
I think Mud Shot is better.
Yeah. But I just know there's a lot of dragons. So.
Yeah, because... I feel like Mud Slap might be... Mud Slap is either the better one or the worse one.
Wait, let me see.
Yeah, I'm checking it now, too. Yeah, Mud Shot is 3 damage and 9 energy. Meanwhile, Mud Slap is 7.33 damage and 5.33 energy. Hmm. 1 second cooldown.
Well, right now I got a Rhino as my buddy. A Pseudo Widow.
Mud Slap is a 1.5 second cooldown, so it's a little longer.
Charm is like a 10-second cooldown.
Is it?
I don't know. I just said that.
Oh. No, Charm's the same time frame. So 1.50 seconds.
So they'll build up energy the same rate.
Yeah, Mud Slap is 5.3. Charm is 4 point. So Mud Slap will gather more energy and decent damage. Meanwhile, Mud Shot would have done more energy but less damage. Yeah, Mud Shot charges really fast. So that might be the differentiator on why Donphan might not be as great.
Mm-hmm.
So if they ever introduce Mud Shot onto Donphan,
Then it will be OP.
yeah. That depends on whether they need to. Because usually they introduce certain things when a meta needs it.
Like how they did last time. With Drill Peck.
Yeah, exactly. I was checking out the Sinister Cup rankings. I actually didn't sign up for this one this time. I decided to full focus all this stuff and make sure we're ready and have a good flow with everything. But
I don't know what the Sinister Cup is. I've heard of it, but like, I don't.
Yeah, so it's technically the Sinister Cup 2.0 because Sylph.gg introduced a similar thing to the Mirror Cup. So yeah, right now they're doing a revisiting for the battles right now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, for the Sinister Cup, it was the one they did for October last year. So they had bans okay. So Shiftry, Murkrow, Honchkrow, Crawdont, Sharpedo were allowed in there. But the ones that were banned were Drifblim, Legendaries, Galarians, and Shadow Pokemon aren't allowed in it right now. But it's supposed to be
Galvantula. Never mind.
Yeah, so it's Ghost, Psychic, Steel, and Fighting types are allowed for this cup. No Shadows, no Mythicals, no Legendaries, certain bans. And that was the Sinister Cup 2.0. The other ones that the Silph Road is revisiting for allowing points this cup or this month is Sorcerer Cup, Timeless Cup, and Ferocious Cup.
Ferocious.
Yeah. So you just have to either organize it yourself or join Go Battle League. Yeah, I think that's the name of it.
Interesting.
Go Stadium, damn it. So join Go Stadium or find your local community that is holding a virtual version of one of those cups. They'll usually decide, allow for the assortment, and then you just register the Pokemon you want to play for it. And then organize the matches with everyone else, whoever you're matched up with that time frame.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the way they're doing the Silph Road this month.
And then I heard they're taking a break.
Yeah, because it'll be the end of the season. And what else
Even though
was
they
it?
did seasons.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a different setup with it, but it's just the way they do it sometimes.
I'm trying to think of things. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's
That's
basically
it.
all, yeah. Any other thoughts on if Pokemon Go is becoming pay to win?
If it's becoming that,
Yeah.
I mean, kinda.
Yeah. I mean, it can kind of feel like that, but then again, come to think of it, if Pokemon Go was pay to win, then the hatch rate for, say, Dino would have been a lot higher, considering
Exactly.
that anyone could buy a incubator and then go from there. But by making such a steep margin for incubators to have diminishing returns, basically it allows for luck to really play a factor in it, and that you throwing endless amounts of money at the problem won't work. The same thing with raid Pokemon. You could be out every hour, every day, spending so much money doing raids and getting invited to raids,
Yep.
but there's no guarantee that you're going to be getting a shiny at that. In addition to, the raids may not spawn that many unknowns at that, or the letters that you need.
It's so iffy.
So it's kind of like this weird dance that Pokemon Go is doing with players, making sure that they're not spending too much money and that it is all luck based. So after all of this stuff going on, a lot of people have been calling for Niantic divulging the exact contents and the hatch rates for certain Pokemon from eggs, because eggs, in a way, are the loot boxes for Pokemon Go. Because you buy an incubator, 50 cents per hatch, and with a pool being so large as it is, there's no way to tell whether you're actually going to hatch what you need.
Yep.
I was hatching a ton of things during Dragon Week, and good 90% of them were Swablu, Trapinch. I got maybe a Dino maybe every third batch.
Did they change what's in the 7 kilometer eggs?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah, with the Enigma Week, they moved around the Pokemon in that pool.
Because I have.
But if you have any 7 kilometer eggs from last week, then it'll be a dragon.
I have 9 7 kilometer eggs.
From what day?
I have one from the 5th,
Okay, might be a dragon.
another one from the 5th,
Mm-hmm.
one from the 7th.
If that was before 1 o'clock, then, well, before 4 o'clock our time, then it could be a dragon.
I mean, I just incubated these today. I forgot they were even there. I got another one from the 7th.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got 1, 2, 3. 3 from July 26th.
I mean, at least you're focusing the new ones. But who knows if you don't have 100% shiny in there? Who knows?
What's from July 26th? Like, I don't even know what that was. That going to be
God, if I know. It could just be a baby Pokemon.
from GoFest, the 7 kilometer egg? Like,
July. I was thinking January. Duh.
July 26th.
The 7 kilometer eggs during that time.
And 2 from July 28th.
I feel like during GoFest, it wasn't anything too crazy.
Like, I don't know
It
what
was
I mean,
Galarians and Alolans. Yeah.
all of them.
Yeah, so Galarians and Alolans were the ones that were inside, that are the ones in the eggs from around that GoFest time. So you might have a shiny Galarian in there. I mean, a shiny Alolan, or just a decent Galarian Pokemon in there.
When I actually get the walking, they'll finally hatch. I mean, it's been like 2 weeks that they've been incubated.
Yeah, you just got to make sure that Adventure Sync is working. It should cash in tomorrow morning for your adventure sync. Last week I missed it by 0.5 because I had a late start to my day and I wasn't able to get that 0.5 before.
What, 75?
Yeah, before the 50 kilometers.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Nowhere near there.
No?
I'll be lucky if I get the 10.
Really? That sounds odd. I don't know. Maybe I'm just ADHD, so.
I mean, you're getting your exercise.
It's a possibility, but yeah, go fig. But oh, cool. So the Wawa I was working at today, the one down the shore.
Which one was it?
It was the North Wildwood one. They have a gym and a Pokestop, both within range.
That's the other one, not the doo-wop?
Not the doo-wop, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's like a dolphin statue right there in front of the Wawa showing off the welcome to Wildwood or something. And then to the right, I forget what it is, but yeah, it was a Pokestop and then a gym. And I dropped in the gym before I left. So I got a Pokemon just hanging in there right now.
Still?
Yeah, surprisingly.
Wow.
It might be there until tomorrow, maybe.
And look at you.
That I'm going to jinx myself and someone's going to take it down right before it hits the 8 hours and 30 minutes mark on me. Because it's at 7 hours right now. Huh?
I forgot you went down today again. I was like, how's it still there from Saturday?
No, that one turned up later. But yeah. So the eggs from this week, for the Enigma week, you'll have the chance to find... Where is it?
7 kilometer?
And 7 kilometer eggs will be Cleffa, Igglybuff, Lunatone, Solrock, and the new Unova Pokemon, Eligum.
I don't have an Igglybuff, so hopefully it's one of them.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so you might have a chance for that. Starry, you have to find out in the wild, or if you find the research, the win a raid battle.
Let me get a shiny Starry.
Yeah. It doesn't look as good as it did in the other games. It's more of like a off-green kind of color.
But Starry is just, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little iffy.
It needs a faster energy generating move.
Yeah. Yeah,
like Thunder, Psychic, Ice Beam, but like the generation is so slow.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's partially a glass cannon as well, so. But okay, we'll call this episode here. Welcome back, Augmented Ones. This is where we're going to end the episode. Hope to see you all in the next one, and hope to bring you more content. Make sure you check us out, however you stay social, either on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We have a little Facebook group on there, I think. And we have a Discord that we haven't really been using much, but we may get in there soon as well. You can also find our VODs on YouTube. We'll be putting the podcast on Anchor as well as other podcast performers. So if you want to stay augmented, just join us for the next one or stay tuned. Remember, good balls, good calls, good luck, and we'll catch you in the next one. We'll meet you out there.